Today on the 50 Shades of Pain show, we're going to be going over the top 3 exercises that you guys need to do at home to make sure your neck stays safe and that we don't have to work on you anymore.
Welcome to the 50 Shades of Pain show, where we empower our community with knowledge about pain, both physical and emotional, to give you the tools that you need for optimal health. I'm Dr. Donish, Medical Director of Wellward Medical here in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. James Escaloni, and today we talk about necks all the time. It's such a common problem. We just did a podcast on the relationship between headache and neck pain, how a lot of times people have chronic headaches and it really is originating from their neck. So it's appropriate for us to show you how to keep your neck in good shape. What kind of exercises are needed? Why is it so difficult to exercise the neck?
Well, a lot of times when people think of, I need to get my body parts strong, it's like, all right, how do I get my elbow strong? Well, I can do this exercise. Or I need to get my shoulder strong. I can do this exercise. But what do you do for your neck? Just bob it back and forth. A lot of people will stretch it, but that's not going to build up strength.
No, and there's a lot of misunderstandings about how to exercise your neck, because I see a lot of people in the gym and they're doing exercises like this, but they're not doing anything with the chin tuck. Now, why is the chin tuck so important?
Well, if we're trying to have a natural, normal alignment of your neck, we want to have it with a little bit of a curvature to it. Now, if you're trying to think about the spine as a line of dominoes rolling back and forth, all right, you hit one, the rest of them go, that's how you want this contraction to go. You want to tuck it in a little bit, and if you're going to move down, you would go down like this, and then reverse that back up in the same manner. However, if people are just exactly like you've been seeing, hinging it down, back and forth from there, they're going to get very good at moving from a single segment. And that's when we usually see when people start to have problems if all their motion comes out of one spot instead of more equal distribution of strength on that area.
Oftentimes the spine is held together with ligaments that go from one junction to the next, and these ligaments transfer load up and down the spine. So we get really inefficient in our movements as we age because those ligaments start to develop tiny wrinkles in them, and you have small bits of motion that go back and forth. Whenever that happens, your neck bridges that gap by constricting all the muscles that are running up and down the spine. As a result, that segment becomes less mobile, but the segments next to it, where there's a little bit more range of motion, they become hypermobile, and you start to hinge specifically at those spots. So there's a relationship between low mobility and high mobility at these segments that lends itself to breaking down. When we do the chin tuck, though, we're kind of forcing everything to move together by recruiting muscles that pull back on those ligaments and forcibly tighten them down.
And it's great if you've been sitting at work all day and you're hanging out like this.
That's right.
Your neck needs a break.
Your muscles are not doing anything. You're relying completely on those ligaments, which may already be damaged.
I feel exhausted being here. Now that's one big area. Now the second big area is right from here. Now Dr. Donish, how often do you have to work on stuff right through here in the neck?
Quite a lot. So this area right here is the first cervical vertebrae, the C1 segment. That's the first bony part of your neck. That starts right after your head. The transverse process of that is actually right here, right behind the ear. And there's a major muscle that connects that bone to the second cervical vertebrae called the obliquus muscle. It's a very, very underwhelming muscle because it's tiny little muscle, and yet it does so much and is the source of so many big problems. So this area in particular is a major source of headaches. I've often evaluated patients who are actively having a headache, and the moment I touch there, it's like you push the magic button and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, that's the spot, that's the spot. Just by holding traction there for a little bit, it eases up their headache.
And if you have it so that these joints have had some sort of injury after you've had an old whiplash, something like that, all the motion from here, it's disjointed and can be a little angry. And so why would that little muscle be so angry? It's not getting help from other guys around there. That's why we want to help you out with these exercises. Show you how you can avoid having to see us if you don't need to, right? If you're trying to learn how to use these smaller muscles in your neck to get started. Now, small muscles can be learning to be big, strong muscles, but they need a little bit of help, and everybody has to start someplace. So you're going to start with these small muscles that help support the back of your neck called the multifidus, okay? They go from one level to the next level in your spine, all the way from here and all the way down through here too. Muy importante, as they say in German. So what they're going to do from here, if Dr. Danish was trying to get this muscle to engage from this position, first he'd push his shoulders away from his hands, pushing everything up there. Good. Then imagine somebody just picked a booger and they're putting it near you. What do? You tuck your chin up. And you guys see what happened? It flattened out kind of nicely here. And so what we want to do is there's a little spot right from here. You guys can see it. He's tucked in just a little bit. He's going to bring this spot even further up into my fingers. Nod your chin and push this up even higher. That's the spot. It should be a little shaky right there. So we'd want to hold this for a plank. And so we'd be doing this for about 30 seconds at first. If this is easy, great, do 5 sets. And if it's not, work up until you get 5 sets. Now what do you do if this starts to get for easy 5 sets? Well, then you take a small band, wrap it around your neck and hold it in your hands down here and do the same exercise. And that's going to make it so you can hold this even stronger. Now, after you can do about 5 sets of 30 seconds with a band right through there, and that time passes really quickly, now I've got to teach him how to use the neck muscle as well. So he's going to tuck his chin in extra hard. Tongue's going to be on the roof of the mouth. And he's going to nod his chin into his chest. Bring it all the way down. Now flex the head. Go all the way down as far as you can. Good. And then he's going to reverse that, tucking his chin in and tucking that back up to here, bringing this up tall. Now, a lot of people, when they bring that back up, they lead with their head and their forehead. Look straight up at the ceiling. Yeah, they start to do that, and we don't want that. We want it so he just goes down and it tucks his chin in and then reverses that, leading with this part first, tucking the chin in and coming up. Bring it in, tucking the chin more. There. That's how you want to do that. That's exercise number 1. All right, cool. Now, Dr. Danish is going to get on his side for this next one, okay? All right, so here's exercise number 2 for you guys, my friends at home. So what you would do is you are going to be doing a plank, but it's a plank for your neck. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to get on the side of something, like a bench right here, and you want your shoulders tucked down, just like you can see Dr. Danish is doing so wonderfully. Your bed could also work. You don't have to have a cool bench like this one. Now you see how he's got his face tucked back, just like we did earlier.
Double
Ears
chin.
over shoulders, getting that all taken care of. Now what's going to happen is after this is established, good posture from here, chin tucked in, I'm going to let go right here, and he is going to hold this neck plank position right there. Good. We're going to do 5 sets of 30 seconds of that, just like beforehand. Now, once this starts to get easy, now we need to add in some range of motion to this. Now, the thing is, if you always find yourself stretching this upper trapezius muscle out because it hurts all the time, but it doesn't seem to get better, then this exercise is for you. This is how you're going to lengthen it by strengthening it. And here's what you do. You keep everything tucked in just like you've been working on, but then you're going to let gravity help you bring your ear all the way down to your shoulder. Stretch that all the way down. Now, tuck your chin in, fight gravity and come back up again, and hold in this position for 5-second holds, 3 sets of 10. To make this a little bit harder, once this gets a little bit more challenging and you're not tired from 3 sets of 10, put some sort of small weight right here. Sometimes if you've got like really hard weights, it'll help if you put a little towel or something so it's not as uncomfortable. But all these areas that we were just talking about gets a lot of strength from here so that you can be more resilient and have less pain, and it'll hopefully stop some of those achy feelings that you have in here because the muscles basically didn't need to be stretched, they need to be strengthened. So let's take a look at the 3rd exercise, lying on your back. So we talked about the back multifidus muscles. We talked about these side muscles, which involve a lot of the things like your trapezius. Same thing with your sternocleidomastoid. But now we're going to be working on your deep neck flexors, your neck abs. All right, so when you're working on this, there's some very particular things you got to do, because when a lot of people are just lifting up their head, because he's going to be doing a neck sit-up, they're hinging through their head. It almost looks like if you were to slow down what they were doing and film them, it almost looks like a whiplash motion. They're like, whoa, back and forth. We do not need that. So what needs to happen is it needs to be graceful and moving in the manner that I just described to you. So tongue on the roof of your mouth first. When you do that, that's going to get all these digastric muscles and their fascial overlay with the deep neck flexors so they contract together. It makes it easier for you to succeed. Now, after you do that, wherever your eyes go, your body's going to go. Fun trick. So you're going to look directly at your sternum with your eyeballs, and then he's going to do a smooth neck sit-up with his chin tucked in, holds it there for 5 seconds again, and then reverses that, keeping the chin tucked in as he comes back down. You would do 3 sets of 10 with this. All right, that 5-second hold is really important to help stretch some of this area so that it can be lengthened during the strengthening exercise. You get it? Now, once that starts to become a little bit easy, you can either add a weight right here, or you can actually challenge yourself by getting everything in the fascia, through the trunk and the muscles all the way down to your pelvis. Here's how you do it. You make it like a Pilates exercise. Kick those legs straight, lock them out, suck the stomach in, crunch, and then right back down. You'll feel all the way down to below your belly button contracting when you do this. So you get sweet abs and a healthy neck. What's there else to want in this life, right? All right.
Just start doing this when you're on your own, because you will make some funny, goofy faces when you're doing this. I was really trying to control myself and not make like
But those are the warnings, but think about all the benefits. Your call, my friends, your call. All right, cool. So we thank you again for joining us on the 50 Shades of Paige show.
And until next time, I'm Dr. Donnet.
And I'm Dr. Escaloni.
We wish you joy and growth on your wellward way.